Hello and welcome back. My name is Steve Monkey Mason and I'm joined with Paul Ray. Because of Paul Ray, I've just got that completely the wrong way around, and joined by Carl McSorley for Back to the Future Part 2. You guys alright?
All good, man. All good.
Paul?
Yep.
Yeah, okay. Right, I'm pressing play on 3, 2, 1. There we go. Dun dun dun.
Right, I'm going to give it a second because I'm on my PlayStation and I forgot what the pause button was, so I'm on Steven Spielberg Presents.
Aye. It's Universal, man. They're so like...
Just a second or two.
They're a little bit all over the place, Universal, like. Universal's on there. What are you up to, Carl?
Steven Spielberg Presents.
Ah, there we go. Steven Spielberg Presents. Another finger in another pie. Right, so yesterday I did 2 podcasts back to back. Actually, I did Mind Ripper and Ski Patrol. So, but this picks up straight after the first one, and there's reshoots here, isn't there?
Yeah, you replaced Jennifer Dinner with his shoot from Karate Kid, which is hard to tell unless you didn't notice.
I think given the time frame as well, I mean, it wasn't ages after the first one, but I think like people just got used to it being like kind of nothing offense to the original actress, but he's teeny girl in this, so it's not like it was miles apart.
She gets her name above Kevin Bacon in Hollow Man, and I was like, who the fuck's Elizabeth Shue? And then everywhere I look now, she's in Summit.
And you think, she's just obviously for those who were watching spoiler, she just reprised her role in Cobra Kai, which is quite interesting because, to be honest with you, that's actually such a strange thing, because she was kind of fuming for years after that because there was just like no indication why she wasn't asked back. Apparently, like she ran into what do you call him? I'm going to call him by his character name, Daniel Russo. What do you call him, man?
Ralph.
Ralph Macchio, right? Apparently they bumped into each other in like a baseball game or something like that. Like she was dead funny with him because like he had no idea. I don't know if he assumed that she just didn't want to come back or not, but there's all sorts of cringy business when it comes to replacing people. But
you're watching this, sorry, reflection in the license plate. I can see the camera in the DeLorean.
Also, there was a few of them in the first one as well, wasn't it?
It's in glasses, man.
I remember getting a pair of glasses from a cornflakes, so like future editions, to wrap around your head.
Nice.
I love that 80s ILM, like.
Obviously, but remember when you used to get things in your cornflakes?
Yes. Used to be in the...
We'd never get away with that today.
Nah, it used to be in the packet, but then it changed it to outside the packet, now they're gone now.
Yeah.
Boom. So yeah, Biff witnesses it though.
Which comes back to Horton, doesn't it? I've seen Flying DeLorean for years. Now this is my ultimate favourite of all 3 films. It's my favourite.
Yeah.
Even though, like I said before, I've seen 1 and 3, but never seen number 2. So obviously I was only like 8 at the time, so I didn't know what was going on, but loved it.
I think to me personally, it was just all like the fact that it's, you know, it's the future. I mean, don't get us wrong, I'm not impressed with this like floating through the crowds. I mean, don't get us wrong, it's not cheap to go up and float through some crowds, but like the first one seemed to have a bit of a better story. This is just like filling the void at the moment, like. But I just, as a kid, I just love the fact that it's futuristic. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's very dark too, which I like. We got that awesome score by Alan Silvestri again.
It is a bit of a cop-out though, guys, like.
Are you in the futuristic traffic jam here thing?
No,
Not yet.
I'm still in Dean Cundy's back. Dean Cundy's on the screen. The producer, Frank Marshall. He did the Green Mile, didn't he? Director.
I couldn't tell you off the top of my head.
I believe so.
That one in the top up.
Yeah, directed by Robert Zemeckis, and I'll skip forward a bit so I'm time with Paul. Yeah, literally, Flash, cars just came, DeLorean's in shot now. Courthouse
Oh, this is like...
Square exit.
I'm going to get in. I'll get
Just
to
like
you,
someone-
but...
Right, flipping between them. Again, though, it's just like they basically, it was quite rare back in that time to opt to do a sequel because they obviously filmed both of them back to back, didn't they?
No, 2 and 3 back to back.
Yeah.
Yeah. Obviously, I was going to say something I forgot now. But no, like I said, it's one of those ones where we have a big massive debate at work, me and another employee, about which one's the best one. And even customers who buy the film see the first one, and I always see the second one. You know what I mean?
I reckon the first one got the edge, like.
No, I mean, no, not really, because like the way this utilizes the first one and the flashbacks and just the execution and like again how well it was made for the time, it's got to be this one. Do you know what I mean?
I mean, don't get me wrong. I give it all the credit in the world for being one of the very few films that actually works so well as a sequel. But I don't know, like this one, I maybe don't give it as much credit because I feel like it kind of, I don't know, honestly don't. It's just like for some reason I love it and it has the most fun with the series. This is probably the most entertaining, but if I had to go with the better film, I'll go with the first one.
That's good. Right, decline him, kick him out.
Yeah. Get Matt Davies back.
Yeah.
What were you saying last night? Sorry, not last night. The night before about the Twin Pines. Is that something to do with Twin Peaks?
No. The Twin Pines was the mall, and when the DeLorean drives through the Peabody's garden, it's only 1 pine, and when he goes back, it's 1 pine more instead of Twin Pines.
Okay. I was watching Twin Peaks last night and I was thinking, I wonder if that was something to do with.
You should just message us, man.
I have enough.
This is like a Beverly Hills, isn't it? Like if you check your phone, it says showers at like at 12 o'clock p.m. Then it's like, oh my god, it's actually right.
Obviously, laser discs in the alleyway.
Yeah, favourite. Maybe that's fine. Fusion Industries, laser discs and CDs. So it's kind of true. Depends whose house you go to. So I never recognise the difference. On my makeup.
What the hell is
Change
this?
of blood.
This is obviously this whole ripping off his makeup. This was just obviously done to like solve out the problems of his aging and stuff like that, and like all that.
He actually looks younger when you're on about.
Well, that's it.
Back to the first one.
Well, that's it. That the director had said like, well, we may as well just say he got a facelift in the future, and then it solves any problems of his makeup, because they were obviously filming loads of different stuff at the time.
Don't look at anything. Don't touch anything. Don't talk over your own body. Now, the police shows are awesome. Because obviously Nike actually released these a few years ago, didn't it? Because obviously this film did celebrate like an anniversary all of 2015, isn't it?
Yeah.
Like they released the date, so they did actually release the footwear, and you can actually get replicas of obviously Marty Jr.'s hat and his coat, can't you?
I went for a fortune.
Have you seen the prank that was done in America, where the dresses bloke of actually I can't remember who. Don't know if they actually legitimately got an old bloke. I think they did. It was like an old bloke who went into a shoe shop, but he had a pair of these originals, like 10 grand or something like that. But he like played up on the fact that he didn't know what they were. He's like, oh, my grandson. I got my grandson neat, but at the wrong size. Is there any way you can give me like store credit? And it was just a test to see what the store would react like, because you could see like anyone who with anyone looked at them and goes, do you know what you've got here? He goes, just a pair of shoes, aren't they?
Yeah,
it's pretty rare. And I think there was one where they were like kind of, oh, I mean, we'll give you such and such for like next to nothing.
Was that porn stars?
This 2015 future, is there anything that's happened in 2015 future that's happened to us? Yeah, if you know what I mean.
No, it's not The Simpsons. The Simpsons get everything right.
The girl gets sidetracked. Does he do nothing with the girl? They're just drugged her and had her. There's like really not much issue to why she should have come along. That would be an early critique if I had to say. That's why the point of bringing her along.
Because
but you changed the actress, so obviously she must have had a plan to make her more irrelevant. but then her entire presence in this film is, well, she gets a little bit more later on, but other than that, she's drugged up.
Well, at the end of the first one, they probably.
Well,
Well, at the end of the day, with the first one, there probably was ideas for the sequel, like going back further or going forward, and then they probably weren't planning on making 1 and 2 straight away as well.
yeah.
I mean, the actress probably ended up on a TV show or something, and then couldn't because of the scheduling. And then
I think she was.
if you can get Michael J. Fox and Christopher Lloyd, you're expendable. Unfortunately.
Yeah, true.
I think the original Jennifer signed the original Jennifer when she does autographs. If I remember right. Aye.
Well, rightly so, I think I would do the same thing.
There's not people around a tie Doc Brown can't freaking see it.
Yeah, I like what they class as futuristic. That's what I love about like when film do things in the future, because it's always interesting what people think the future might actually look like.
Is there anything that's like, yeah, that top frontier kind of thing, apart from like this 80s cafe kind of thing? You know, like Star Trek has like the
I'm still in the alleyway.
talk stream and stuff like that.
I'm still in the alleyway. Doc Brown's on about like he's just got back in his car. Now Marty's walking into the square. Here we go. So obviously this just takes the original square and write it up. Obviously it has one of the best cameos and spoofs ever, with Jaws coming up in a minute. But obviously coming to my attention last time I watched this is obviously Texaco is still there, but obviously Roger Rabbit and stuff, which is quite cool.
Looks so much cleaner too, doesn't it? It looks a lot better. They're busy though.
And just there, Michael J. Fox. Michael J. Fox has just sidestepped a car like he does in the original.
Yeah. Just have a quick look, and let's just say, so I'm just going to double check to say.
There we go. This time it's really personal. Jaws is coming.
Can you remember a computer game? But Future 2 on a hoverboard on the street.
I never played the Back to the Future gameplay.
There's a Spectrum.
Texaco.
Yeah, Jaws, here it comes. I want the t-shirt of that. It's fucking class, that Jaws 19. It's tremendous.
Yeah, we're going to do that, though. Come on.
Max Spielberg.
That's his son of his kid as well, isn't it? That's his name, his son.
It was Max, yeah.
So yeah, I just wanted to double check. So obviously we're talking about how busy it is, how much clearer it looks and stuff like that. So obviously the first film was 19 million, made just shy of 400 million. Now this one.
Now look at the window there. Roger Rabbit. We've got called games for Dragnet's there on the left. You know what I mean? JVC camera. That's just fucking class, that man. Sorry, Carl. What were you saying?
So they really boosted it up. Now this is interesting, because this, in kind of financial aspects, it didn't make as much because this cost 40 million. So you've gone from the first one being 19 to 40. Yeah, this made it was 331 million. So it actually, in kind of how much they spent, it actually made a lot less than the first one.
Yeah.
Michael Jackson.
Apparently, am I right here though? I always think, I'm sure it's this scene here where the kids are on the arcades.
Oh yeah, it's
the two guys. Elijah Wood's one of them.
Yeah.
Guys, remember Max Headroom? That kind of technology TV show. I remember when Pepsi released these bottles in America, and no one could get them over here. They were gone straight away to pre-order online.
I don't think you can buy them. Like, I mean, there probably will be someone out there somewhere, but I don't think you can really.
But you can get wooden ones,
stuff like that.
Yeah, like wooden ones.
Yeah.
The replica ones.
Hello.
So much you did do back in the 80s.
So it's interesting that we talk about how this was filmed back to back. Yes, it wasn't that far because it wasn't that close, because word has it that Michael J. Fox only knew there was going to be a sequel because he watched the first one on VHS, and it's when they put the "to be continued" at the end. apparently rang his agents pretty much straight away after that, asking, what the crack was.
Well, that's all got potential open. Obviously, Billy Zane's not in this, is he?
He is, yeah.
He is.
Oh, he
yeah,
is.
because he was on fire.
He's in the future. He's in the past.
Oh, right. But obviously, the famous thing here is Biff's younger kid. It's Jason Scott Lee, isn't it?
There's, one of his gangs is Jason Scott Lee, yeah.
Yeah. I love the how they've done it and the stand-in doubles and just looking for the cuts and it's just great.
Oh, really well done.
It's like when someone films himself talking to someone on the sofa, isn't it, Mason?
It's not easy, guys. It's not one of the problems with it's not easy. No. It's doubling it out, but it's the timing. Obviously, that's one of the biggest things to do.
Obviously, the gun thing comes to get big again, doesn't it? In the third one. Yeah, the technology's been just with Marty Junior coming through the door, and it kind of soft focuses and unfocuses, and Metal Gear Fox hides. Little body double going behind everything there, it's awesome.
Well, that's it. It's all about the hands and the cross. It's just really well done. There's Jason Scott Lee looking all fucking creepy-eyed in the fucking background. He's had a very weird career, Jason Scott Lee.
Yeah. Dragon, Bruce Lee story is probably one of my top 20 films. I love it.
Well, he's Mowgli, wasn't he? Jungle Book.
Yeah.
He's in Mulan now, isn't he? He's the baddie in Mulan. So he's had a bit of a resurgence.
And Soldier 2.
Smurfs on in the background.
Was it Soldier 2 or Soldier 1? Soldier 1, wasn't it, the first one?
Soldier,
They didn't do a Soldier 2, did they?
No. He's in Time Cop 2. He takes over from Van Damme.
No, that's okay, confused. Just be quiet, shut up. That's midnight, he's just talking to himself like that, man, that's mint.
It's all about the hand though. It's someone's different hand though. It's certain tricks of the trailer, how they do it and stuff.
I love Griff, it's Thomas L. Wilson's such a great actor,
I'm telling you, Casper role models himself after Marty McFly,
But did you pick up a physical type? Because it's a thing, 2 years ago, I see it from people who was the Back to the Future 2 hats, got they were in Forbidden Planet one time. And it's... You broke out a little bit there, Paul.
Yeah, he's got his extended back.
Hats. I've seen a few people around the Metal Center with them.
Look at that, man. Here comes a baseball bat. Wham! Well, they didn't get flat screen tellies right, did they?
No.
I mean,
it's an 80s or...
it's an 80s club, so they could probably go, well, it's an 80s one. But even out in the background there, the character Biff's cleaning his car, and it's already setting it up in the shots. It's just, Zemeckis is a really good director, And obviously this is just
quick, isn't it?
Yeah, but this is just a repeat of the first one as well. Taking the kid off, snapping the ball.
That's what I said, it works well though, in these films, but it's quick though, isn't it?
So a grown man can't pull a little girl off a toy these days without being questioned, so there's something else you don't say in it.
Okay, tell me, Metal Gear Fox was a teenager, what are you on about?
He was not a teenager.
You guys ever see what Girl Skateboarding Company did back in the era of Tony Hawk's? When they painted the skateboards green, so when they did the videos, they took the skateboards out of the shot.
Yeah, so that thing honestly some people thought was real because it's probably Tony Hawk's and it was done well, to make it feel like it was a real hoverboard, but.
No, I'm not on about that when Tony Hawk's did it. I'm on about when Girl Skateboarding Company, they painted all the skateboards green screen green, so when they were skateboarding, they just took the skateboards out. So when they were grinding down rails and all that, there was no skateboard.
Ah, right.
Smashing the cars. It's really well done how they've done it.
Oh
To be
yeah.
honest with you though, Michael J. Fox is selling it, but the gang isn't as much. I don't know, like when they were, like all three of them in line before, it just kind of looked like they were.
This is a kind of movie though to me. It's like when you've seen it as a kid, everything in America looks better, even water. You go down and look at our ponds and all that, it's just mustard green and all that, like what the fuck's that? And you used to see America and it all looks clean and rich and you're just like, I remember going to America in the 90s and going, fuck me, like this place is amazing. It's just like out the movies. Again, you go to the right place, everywhere's different, like, but look at this.
Ah, but I mean, like I say, when you think like, say the grass and that, I mean, it's just a completely different climate, so the grass is always going to be a little bit more healthy.
You know,
also.
when I'm up to the bit where he's on the hoverboard on the water where Griff's gang coming, the bit where he ducks in the water, yeah, if you check out the bodies that hit the clock tower, one of them hits a pillar. One of the bodies hits like the pillar.
Right.
It's just like obviously that would kill her.
Oh,
She's not dead.
Be fucking dead, flying through glass and all that. We shattered in loads of bits. I mean, they went flying there.
Bloody hell. That was definitely very stringy, what's it?
That's what you were on about the podcast the other day, wasn't it? Like, something about this feels familiar to me.
Yeah. You're close to their drive.
Now, what's the timing on this? Which one's the longest Back to the Future? Let's have a look. So the first one runs at 1 hour 56, the second one runs at 1 hour 48, and the third one runs at 1 hour 58. So it's the shortest of the three as well. Who's that then? He's got too much makeup on for just being an extra. They could have just hired him up. They've put a lot of makeup on that guy, that was.
Yeah, it seemed unnecessary, didn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Whoever that is.
As a kid watching this, you had no idea about the betting and stuff like that, would you? I mean, about going back and putting bets and things.
Mate, I still have no idea about bettings.
Me too. I'm the same, I don't know how people do it.
You see an advert for Paddy Power, I'm like, I still don't get it.
Yeah?
What's that to get?
The power.
1, you get £2 for every one you put on. Jeez.
There you go. Cause to explain it to her. Just for stuff.
Yeah, there's a vacuum cleaner for you.
I like it. Back for the Past looks like the logo for Back to the Future a little bit, doesn't it? I refined DeLorean. God, I haven't seen one of those for years. Huh.
Jaws 1970 in the background.
I had the Spectrum game, the 128K game. You can now get past the first level. And if you notice Doc Brown's t-shirt, it's like a Wild Wild West one, isn't it? It's got like trains and stuff on it, like a big locomotive kind of thing. So it's a bit of a giveaway, yeah. Yeah. It's got like horses and it's got trains on it.
I'd say, I mean, it's a bit like that, but I think they could have caught, because obviously they utilise the first one loads when they go back, but obviously they don't utilise the past, and I think later the past one, because later on when they get the Biff's mansion and all that, it's not this. There's loads of, like, they could have had loads of stills of stuff that you see taken in the third, but then used in the fourth. That would have been really clever if they did that.
Mm-hmm.
If there's a couple.
Apparently Zemeckis didn't even want to go to the future.
No, I'm saying
that was
like.
not what his original plan was.
I know,
no,
but like.
I know that's not what you're saying.
Yeah.
But it was something I remember saying.
There is one photograph from the 1800s. It's the Mad Dog one.
Yeah, I'm saying, but it's not like something like taken from the film, and it could have been like it could have tied it in just a little bit. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
again, this one again, I remember seeing this very closely to Bill and Ted as well, and Bill and Ted were fucking around with the times and all that continuums and stuff like that as well.
Now,
Fucking around with time. They were trying to get this project done, so
Yeah,
no
that's
fucking
true.
around. They saved the world.
I'm gonna say Bill and Ted's Future is not as good as Back to the Future.
No, well, it depends on which future. If you've seen the new one.
I haven't
Yeah,
seen the
so
new
sorry.
one yet, so fuck yous. It's on order. Don't you fuck that up.
Did you get a trilogy?
Yeah.
Ah, yeah.
Well, it's the only way you can get the second one. It's the only way you can get the
Is that
second
really?
one. I'm going to get rid of my steelbook if you want to buy that, Carl.
Well, to be honest with you, it's like I've always held up because I don't know if it's French. No, it's not French. I think it's American. But there's two steelbooks for the first and second one in America. They look really nice. I mean, quite simple, but they look nice. But I've always put off because buying crap from America just costs too much money.
Oh, wait, eBay now, the import charges are there because we're out the EU, so you get stung an extra
So,
time.
yeah, someone was talking about that with FNAC. I don't know if you spell it or you just say it, but it's where a lot of people get the Mondo steelbooks from and stuff like that in France. Well, apparently some people made some orders just before Christmas and got the order within like 48 hours, whereas now it's all extra charges and all sorts. There's actually a bloke on Amazon who refused to deal with someone. He actually sent him a letter back saying, sent him an email back saying, sorry, I know I sold you this, but it's just not worth my time now the Brexit thing kicked in.
Yeah.
So he literally got rejected, and it was just like, shit, man.
Well,
This that piece looks mint, like we're flying.
I ordered
How
two.
can I say to get that down, like?
I was going to say I ordered two VHSs the other day in America, and I was like, the guy made us an offer, so I got them cheaper. And then I found 20 quid in the house. I was like, oh, get in. And then at the very end of eBay, just as I was paying it, added an extra 11 quid on for import charges. I was like, what?
Christ.
So I was like, that's the last time I do that. Oh, God.
Well, it's official. I finally know someone who's rich enough to have £20 lying in the house and not know about it.
No, I put it in a VHS and I opened a VHS and 20 quid fell out. I was like, oh, get in.
With your amount of VHSs, you'd be there, aren't you? See if you did it again. See, why would he... No, sorry, I'm just going to interrupt there because there's a big plot point here. So you got Doc Brown, like the most cautious, the most, on edge person who doesn't want anything to go wrong. Yeah, he leaves that book right on top of the trash for anyone to pick up.
Yeah, because do you think people would be having a little nib, seeing they had a time machine?
I know, but you just save yourself the problems and keep it.
Or you
You've already paid for it, you might as well just shove it in the car.
Yeah, only one person who's got a time machine, and that's Biff now.
Well, exactly.
So it's about
another reason to keep Elizabeth Shue in there.
So it's about if it's most up to date. Obviously, when you see lights on, it does see lights on now, doesn't it? If
You can do that now, yeah.
See?
Unless you're Simon Phoenix. Illuminate, deluminate.
And then again, they got screens that have screensavers on. Like YouTube has screensavers and stuff like that, or EFP, so you can TV's got screensavers on.
It's the same kind of TV from there. It's the same kind of technology as Total Recall.
Yes. But this is why I would never invest, because that's clearly glitching. And that would annoy the shit out of me if I had a false window, but then it's broke.
Knows what it is, man. Yeah, just track it in. Just track it in.
Yeah.
Obviously, if you think about it, the door handle has got your thumbs on, but the only sort of the same thing to the only phone. I've got to say, he's an ugly girl. Metal Gear Fox is one ugly lass.
I'm on watching Twin Peaks and I'm on the second season, right? I've never seen it before, and I was watching it and it has that really long dun dun intro, dun dun, and it came up David Duchovny and I was like, fucking hell, David Duchovny's in this, and he turns up as a woman in it. I was like, fuck me, I was pissing myself.
Oh God.
See you again, Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover.
They've done a good job of that, you know.
I'd be pissed off if that was my first scene and I didn't get invited back. It's like making myself look like a right tit.
And he's upside down, isn't he? I think that's to hide his face, really, isn't it?
Well, I had to do something, didn't I, to distract you from the actual, is it him or isn't it him? Yeah. At the end of the day, though, they have done a good job with the makeup, but it's still very clearly wearing makeup.
If someone didn't tell you that's not Crispin Glover or it's not the same dad from the first Back to the Future, you couldn't really tell, would you?
Yeah, they've done a good job of it, aye.
Yeah, I'm going to say the kid, I wouldn't have picked it up, but now it's kind of obvious. But when you think about it, when you watch films as a kid, especially back when this came out, I don't know about you, but I didn't even think.
Why was that scene from behind? Why was that scene from... I'm just going to say there, why was that scene from behind when he's getting floating across the room? Why was that blue screen? Because it looked shit.
So Hilldale's obviously rough as anything now, isn't it? If you think about it. It was all nice beforehand, now it's all rough.
Yeah.
It doesn't get as rough as alternative 1985.
It's like right now. Have you seen the two little K's on the bottom of the sign where it just says sucks instead? Sucks.
Yeah. Let's see, why would I go there? You pay your phone. You pay for your phone now, don't you? Which is, can you write your thumbprint on your phone? Oh my god, this is actually kind of right if you think about it.
That's definitely the taxi from Roger Rabbit as well. Jesus.
And waste recycling station, you put your bins out, you waste recycling, don't you? Aye. It's in so many,
What's the reason for it to be upside down? Have they explained that?
And Abby's blue screened in, it looks crap.
I can't remember now. And picture-in-picture, a few TVs used to have that, didn't they? Picture-in-picture. And voice activated also now.
Yeah.
I mean, like picture in pictures, like screen interface, isn't it? Like, can kind of have it, but
it's just different screens on at the same time. That's all for external sources. Two ties though. That's a bit weird. That's the only thing I don't believe in this film. The two ties and Doc Brown's see-through tie. Could you do a bit of TV, son?
I would just smack my head off that fucking door every time, like doink, doink.
And drones. There's a drone taking the dog out. Aren't we supposed to have drones to deliver Amazon parcels?
Ye God.
So it's kind of right. Drones. I never noticed Biff's red shoes before. Though. They look pretty good.
They're orange, man. I'm colourblind.
They're red for me.
They're orange.
Nobody said you'd be so good.
One of the podcasts yesterday was on. On the podcast yesterday was on VHS for Ski Patrol, and the red looked like it was just bleeding off. So anytime you seen red, there was just like a ghost trail of red everywhere. So it's like, Christ.
Now, hold on. So this is where I get a little bit sketchy with the details. So, Black and City, he's now in a futuristic car. Biff's just taken off with the car. Now, how did he not go 88 miles an hour? It doesn't do that, don't you? You don't have to do that now.
It's got Mr. Fusion now. It can only go 88 because of the nuclear reactor, which is like the same as if you put Mr. Fusion in it, it uses all the energy from that.
That is not enough pizza for me. If you made a pizza and everyone just unloaded it, I'm like, I'll be like, is there anything more? I'm still hungry. I can eat a full pizza that size. Like.
12-inch for me, like every time.
Pizza or penis?
Definitely pizza. Yeah.
Can you remember those sunglasses years ago used to have like headphones in them, no Oakley ones? Used to have little headphones in.
Yeah. You can still get them. It's still marketable, aren't they? I think you get like if you go to Mankind or something like that, you know, got like a beanie with with speakers in
You
them.
remember when you had caps, man, with AM, FM radios in them and that, and the fucking antenna? Like, fuck off.
I used to have one of them, like the running ones. I used to have one of them as a kid.
Yeah.
Isn't that Needles from the band? Oh, what band is he from?
Oh, Red Hot Chili Peppers.
Aye, it is, aye.
Aye, he's a drummer.
Nobody calls me chicken. Now, let's have a quick little look back to Future, because that's the Yorkshire version I'm watching. Back to Future, Doc Brown.
It's interesting that the whole chicken thing's being made into a massive thing in this, because they never mentioned the first one.
That's true, like.
It seems strange to
Don't
me,
even-
because you see it multiple times in this, and you see it multiple times in the third one.
Yeah, it's really this one, isn't it? Where they find about his accident with his in the car because Needles threatens with chicken in the car in the van car thing, driving crash thing in the third one. Jesus Christ, it's late. And again, then that's FaceTime, really, isn't it?
Yeah. Because they haven't got high definition. You're fired.
Fax machines, though, that's a bit so 1980s, so.
That's where Vince McMahon got that from, Carl.
Is that right?
I don't know, but like, you're fired, kiss my ass.
Fire. Imagine that being that you notice when you get sacked.
So, 1989 films, you have Uncle Buck, Roadhouse, Look Who's Talking, Roses, Glory, Weekend at Bernie's, Dead Calm, something called Batman,
Yeah, I'm
Ted,
Batman.
Excellent Adventure, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids, something called The Burbs,
Alright.
K9, Born the 4th of July, Karate Kid 3, See No Evil, Hear No Evil, Black Rain, Turner and Hooch, Tango and Cash, Casualties of War, Metal Gear Fox again, Last Crusade, Harlem Nights, Cyborg, obviously that was the sequel to Massive Universe, wasn't it?
Master
Used some
Universe
stuff
2,
in it.
yeah.
Star Trek 5, The Wizard, Pet Cemetery, Punisher, Little Monsters, Police Academy 6. So yeah, big year really, and Ghostbusters 2.
Not bad.
Really big year for films, isn't it?
Big year. So obviously, Biff's went to Paris, isn't he?
Didn't get that one, mate. What?
Biff obviously, he just came back from Maine. He's used a time machine. He just came back from Maine TV.
I like it how Einstein's in
yeah.
it more.
Yeah. Did the trigger again? No need, man.
Unless she passed out because she's seen herself in the future, which could have caused some kind of space-time continuum. That was two choices.
But that's it. Ruined everything now.
See, now he's using. Now he's putting everything in Mr. Fusion there for the time circuits.
Yeah.
That's how he powers it.
Well, Biff's looking like he's dying at this point.
Oh no, Collins, yeah, it's still got 88, but they still got 88, but obviously Mr. Fusion uses it, so it's still got 88, you're right. Unless he left like little notes saying go 88 miles an hour, then obviously Griff wouldn't have known, would he? I mean,
Oh, no, that's out. Yeah, he wouldn't have known, would he?
yeah. Because if you're driving normally and you go 80 miles an hour, then you go to the future or past, but if you stay under 80 miles an hour, you should be fine. You know, to think about it.
Yeah, it's just losing points compared to the first one. First one had accurate, like.
Still love it. The thing is, they put Jennifer at her house, but you never seen her house in the first place there. So you don't know what it looks like. Apart from Marty goes, I never knew they had bars on the window before. And obviously how we know that, we haven't been to a house before.
So it's quite sad actually. So basically Elizabeth Shue was cast as Jennifer because Claudia Wells was unable to reprise the role as she stopped acting because her mother had been diagnosed with cancer. She returned to acting for the independent film Still Water Burns in 2008. I still don't think the character needed to be in the film, but I suppose it's...
But then again, he says at the start, doesn't he? We can just leave her standing there while they take her with her.
I don't know, like, you could have.
Bye, Jennifer, I'll see you later. I'm just going to go back to Future of Doc, who's all hysterical at the moment.
Well, I would have maybe suggested that they drove around the corner first before they actually went to the future, so we could say, just nip after the shop with Doc, I'll be 5 minutes.
Aye.
That would sort of fill him down. Well, I guess everything's alright now. Everything's okay now. Jason quiet up. The hell?
Yeah. Michael Jackson thriller on the wall.
Yeah.
Just a thriller. Thriller everywhere, actually.
Yeah.
His best mate was Spielberg, wasn't he? He was supposed to be Hook with Peter Pan, but not changed.
Yeah. Better for the better, I reckon.
Definitely.
I know no one will have noticed because it's far too fast, but that lass has got a cupboard on, like in her bedroom. She's got fucking chicken wire on it. It's just like, what? What sort of style is that?
I've got chicken wire in mine. In my cupboard, yeah.
Well, yeah, but you're ghetto style, you aren't you?
Yep. Papa. Get to her. Bastard.
Glad they don't do that anymore. Spray paint the fucking floor. You know how long they took to fucking that spray painted on that, man.
It's choking it.
I love it on Coming to America when it's just like it's just a damn shame what they did to that dog. Just a fucking blind. I used to rent it to a blind guy. There's just an outline on the floor. And it's even the outline of a stick. It's just like damn shame what they did to that dog.
See, I love the fact that it's an alternative timeline. You know what I mean? It's like alternative. It's like we're living in a different alternate timeline that if we made decisions years ago would be different if we think about it, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah, butterfly effect like Mason built up in the first one.
Yeah.
The slightest change.
If I didn't meet Mason, then we wouldn't be doing this and something else. You know what I mean? So it's weird. But then Liverpool probably would have been doing something better on a freaking Sunday night.
What could be better than sitting watching Back to the Future 2 on a Sunday night?
With a pandemic going on, I don't know.
I would opt for food, having some munch. I'm fucking starving today.
I'm going to say, like, to be honest with you, I've left it a little bit late, like, so I'm definitely going to be jumping on the munch after this.
I've had too much munches. I'm all munched out. I had so much like sweets and chocolate. My sugar levels went so high. I nearly passed out. It was nice though, but once every few weeks I can only do that.
Or never get high on your own supply.
I mean blood sugar.
Yeah.
Hell Valley.
Oh yeah. As a diabetic, mate, I can tell you.
I know, yeah. You're right.
I checked my blood before we started.
Well, because you were talking to Mason on the phone, I know, so do I. So obviously the basement trumped, didn't it?
Aye, well, he's in it, so look at it, that's total trump, that bitch sign.
That's 2021, that man, in America.
Yeah. That's
just a few weeks ago. Oh god, you can tell you're getting old when you start referencing news things and movies. Jesus Christ.
Getting all political, April.
Tanks and stuff, but yeah.
That's one thing I don't think is very big over here, and it's referenced a lot in movies. Bonds, like when it's like bearer bonds and all that kinds of stuff.
Because we don't have bounty hunters, that's why.
Yeah.
If we break bail, we could get arrested. Oh my god, I'm so grown up, it's horrible. What's happened to us?
I spent the afternoon bloody washing skateboards.
Have I got news for you soon? Oh no. There's that's a different picture. That's a different picture. Man, Cannon, even look at a picture, it's a different picture of him.
That's what I was on about before, you know what I mean? It was like, if they'd really planned it all out. But they didn't.
Well, I don't even know if they knew what they were doing in hindsight, though. Like, if they just go back there, I mean, Zemeckis didn't want to go to the future in this one. It happened the way it did. Obviously, they didn't plan on making a second one until pretty much last minute sort of thing. So I feel like this is just being riding the waves of what they could get away with at the time.
But then again, that Mad Dog could just be like a costume fitting, you know what I mean?
Well, this is it. I mean, that's just a version, absolutely. You know, like, look, the details, like, apparently the hoverboard that he used in the future is called Mad Dog originally, but then they changed it to Pitbull.
Yeah. Oh, here he is. Here's your mate. Here's Billy Zane. The guy's wearing 3D glasses, sunglasses at the moment. Can you guys remember when Toxic Waste was more popular? It was between 89 and 93, wasn't it? With Toxic Crusaders and stuff like that. When everything was like Toxic Waste, like the actual figures was like, you got like a toxic.
That's another fucking weird thing about that era, right? Because you had stuff like fucking RoboCop for toys, Terminator for toys, and all that. But like Toxic Avenger, the fuck me, that is not made for kids. Have you guys ever seen the fourth Toxic Avenger? Or not?
Oh yeah.
Fuck me, man. The start of that.
I know what the films.
They take over, like terrorists take over a school for the handicapped, and they start like raping them in one bit. They tombstone him and his head comes out his butthole and still keeps talking. I was like, what the fuck am I watching?
Obviously they're supposed to do a proper live action remake of it. But it's got the guy from oh my god. Who's gonna be in it? The little guy from oh my god. David Drinkage, or what do you call him, or him, that small guy from Game of Thrones.
Oh, right.
Peter Dinklage.
He's supposed to be in it.
Peter Dinklage. Oh, really?
Not as toxic. Not as toxic, but maybe some.
Why not? Why can't he play toxic? Is there something about him?
No.
The right look for it.
He was massive in Marvel.
Camera angles in it.
Some good camera angles. Mind you, I do love alternative Biff. Like, he's awesome. He's got everything under control. He's happy.
I mean, it says a lot about Marty's mother, though, because, like, essentially, just because he got a lot of money, it's still bizarre that she married him. Again, that seems a bit of a weird plot.
They've got to be fake tits. That's got to be a fake chest.
Well, I thought that as well, but I think there must be because, like, obviously Marty makes a look at it, like, as soon as he wakes up, so they clearly wanted it to be a part of the reaction.
I think it's just push-up, isn't it? I mean, I'm not an expert in women's garments.
No, that's definitely prosthetics, that was. I am an expert, mate. I've seen it, yeah.
Oh, I thought you wore them, sorry.
I tell you what, if I could, save me a lot of time. No, I think I think that whole idea of them being married is a weird part of the story as well. Totally forgetting Doc from the first one, I think.
It's like he cut them all off, isn't it? To put jailbird Joey back in there.
Yeah.
Back in jail again, and she basically just threatens him, that's all. He's just gaslighting.
But you wouldn't have had to threaten if she didn't marry him. So she must. Are they assuming that he had something on it already to force her to marry him? Question.
Money?
Well, no, like he only got. She must have gotten with him before he got rich. That's what I'm saying.
No.
So she married him for the money then, basically.
Yeah.
Pretty realistic, I suppose.
Was he?
Billy Zane went on to have a bit of a checkered career though, didn't he? I mean, don't get us wrong, he's the bad guy in one of the biggest films ever in the Titanic, had his little star power as the Phantom, but seems to have spent most of his time just really like cashing in on like, you know, smaller roles. I mean, he was in Tombstone and Posse, but like he sort of like, you know what I mean, he's became a bit of a king of the low budgets, hasn't he now?
I think he should have been bigger. But
The last time I seen Billy Zane was in Avril Lavigne's music video from like 5 years ago.
right.
But wasn't he?
It'd be interesting. I wonder why, because obviously being in Titanic should have given him a right push up. But,
I mean, he did in the 90s or didn't he? Early 90s and stuff like Mason Surf. But oh my god, is that film oh my god, Tales of the Crypt one?
Oh, Demon Knight.
He was awesome in that.
Well, he went bald at quite an early age, like hereditary baldness. But again, he just seemed to like in the 2000s. He's been in loads of just random films, hasn't he?
I mean, I wear a wig all the time, but you know, this is one way to write out Marty Stardo, isn't it?
Well, that's it.
yeah.
It's a very dark film, though, isn't it? Like the tone. But it shows his acting, though.
Yeah.
He's not just a Teen Wolf. He's a good actor.
Well, he opted not to come back for Teen Wolf 2, didn't he? And then passed it off to
Jason Bateman.
Jason Bateman. He's had a very weird career because he's a child actor who disappeared, reappeared, and seemed to have done more. He seemed to have had more of a bigger career in his later life, hasn't he? So.
Hangover. Was it Hangover?
No, he's not in Hangover. He's in like Identity Thief and all that, and Horrible Bosses and stuff. Arrested Development, I think he's in.
Yeah.
I was shocked to see it. I was on Rob Lowe's IMDb the other day I was doing a podcast, and Frank Savage, I didn't realise he's like literally quite big in TV shows and stuff. I thought, fuck me, he just seemed to have disappeared.
Savage.
Yeah.
Yeah, he just directing now, isn't he? He was in Austin Powers Goldmember, wasn't he? He's the mole.
Yeah. See, now, I know I'm going back, but it's interesting. So, obviously, Titanic comes out in 97, so Billy Zane, obviously, essentially on top. His next role is a voice role for the new Batman Adventures animation. He then does the voice for Pocahontas 2, but then he takes a role called as a character as the Thief, so I'm guessing it's not necessarily a big role. And that was, it wasn't really until 2001 when he plays himself in Zoolander. Yeah. So as I'm scanning up his stuff, he has done a lot, but very
TV.
Well, that was it.
Very
he was the bad. He's in Tombstone. He's the bad guy in Posse. He was like hyped for a lot because he was the Phantom. Do you know what I mean? In an era where comic book films were like hit or miss. So he was. At the end of the day, he couldn't be a bad actor. Because James Cameron doesn't piss around with actors No, but
that's what I mean. He did a good job being a bad guy in Titanic. So that's why I would have expected him to be on top.
He hasn't. Yeah.
Too much eye makeup. That's what it is. Too much eyeshadow. I like it when Doc.
Too much eyeshadow.
I like it when Doc has the drone. It just makes it so much easier for us common folks to understand, isn't it?
Well, that's it. It's a butterfly effect. It's kind of like an alternative timeline. It opens up a world, and obviously they're going to have to struggle with that in the new. I think they're going to set a lot of that up in Doc Strange 2, and then obviously you have a fucking field day with it with the Spider-Man movie.
See what I mean about the Roger Rabbit photograph?
Oh yeah.
Magnifying glass use the same thing in two films.
Yeah. It's almost exactly the same position, isn't it? It's something in a pocket.
It was work once, work it again, really.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever, Mary. The future, the past, whatever. We gotta get back. Because me and Dan were the same gym in work going, well, Dan goes, well, you can go into the future and just stop getting the book, and you can't go to the future because it goes in the future. It's going to be alternative 2050 where it's going to be bad. You know what I mean? So he has to go back to the past before it happened. You know what I mean? That's what me and Dan were arguing about for a good half an hour. I even drew that board on a bit of paper at work.
I would, as much as I love Dan a bit, he will argue for argue's sake of Dan's bored. He'll be like, nah. He'll be like, fuck off. And then he'll come up to later and go, I just wind you up. And I'm like, fuck off, man.
I did my impression. We gotta get back to the original time. Before the book. You see those things on eBay, you can buy like the fake papers, but it's just printed on high glossy paper, and like the letter that Doc's wrote, but it's all like prop kind of things.
That's the kind of shit. I mean, when I got the Mondo vinyl, you get the newspaper of the first one of the clock tower stopped. That's the kind of shit you should get in special editions and stuff. Oh, Clint Eastwood.
Can you remember that big tin box that came out the 25th anniversary? It was a big tin edition, and you got some like the hoverboard instructions, and you got like leaflets and stuff. But obviously, it was all by Universal. It was all like officially done.
This foreshadows the third one. This though, the Clint Eastwood factor, and you know that's
Yeah.
Oh, but what a life! He's got a bath. He's got a TV in a bath. I mean, how amazing is that?
I mean, I think that's a hot tub, like, but okay.
Sort of time machine, is it? Sort of better.
I love hot tub time machine.
That's what I said it for. Anytime Morty stands like, I think he's going to take a piss or something. You know, the back of his legs. Or he's going to take the piss. You heard him go, it's party's over.
He looks good, like, I mean, I don't think that the guy who plays Biff gets enough credit. I mean, I couldn't tell you his name, and I wouldn't recognise of a film he's been in, you know?
Yeah. Yeah. He seems like a really funny guy, too. If you ever get a chance, go to the YouTube and watch Thomas L. Wilson's song, and it's all about the questions everyone asks him about Back to the Future. But he does it in like a comedy style. It's absolutely awesome. You know your history, kid. But it's weird because it's like like what Doc says. It's like everything happens on that specific day and time. You know what I mean? It's like one day, everything happens on that one day. It could be something coincidence, or it could be something bigger. Like, you know, like Quantum Leap, where Sam Becker could only leap in his lifetime.
Fucking Quantum Leap used to do my fucking tits in, like.
One of my favourite series until the very last one. I still can't think of it.
Well, yeah, where he never reaches home.
Well, he could have gone back anytime.
Yeah.
Totally screwed up. Literally did not have to do all of that.
That was a bloody pain in the ass, wasn't he, half the time? It was Ziggy.
I think Ziggy knew. That's the thing. It was just like weird that they went in that direction.
You need to watch Predestination. Honest to God, that film will melt your brain.
What?
Predestination.
Alright. At least he's a proper collector. Put it in a plastic bag. You know, for
These days, it wouldn't be Sports Almanac. It'd be like a Blu-ray disc in the Steelbook.
Yeah.
Because we got loads of Biff Talent playing cards, didn't we? At work one time.
That's it. I mean, it's all about licensing and stuff like that, innit? It's all about, like, again, going back to all, like, the Universal's terrible for it. But, like, the fact that, you know, it was money to be printed, especially if, like, for all the years they haven't made a fourth one and they weren't going to make a fourth one, all the fanfares, there's money to be there. So Universal's definitely, they haven't, like, you know, anything to tarnish it and just keep on, like, making money off, like, any kind of franchise they can get out of it.
I'm glad it never made a fourth
because I feel
That
like
could just be a remake.
not at the time, though. If they did it straight away after the third one, it wouldn't have been a remake. So what would they have done? What do you reckon? It's like you've
It'd
already
just
got
be-
to.
It'd just be the cartoon, really, wouldn't it? With the flying train. They went to watch a stinky flying train with Jules and Byrne. Scratching his crotch. That's clever, that, like, isn't it? That's going up the stairs like that.
Oh, he's been around, that kid, you know.
Well, I did one mistake. Not shutting the door properly. Go ahead, kid, jump.
Okay. I mean, how hard do you think it would be to jump off a roof onto a car? Do you like the wind factor and like the density of the roof? You'd be fucking dead.
Especially
Not when you're my size, mate. It's straight trajectory.
Carl, you're definitely going through the roof into the passenger seat. Don't. Hiya, I'm safe. Paul Ray would get blown away in the wind before he even got in the car. Gone.
It would be like when you see those feathers and they're just swishing back and forth all the way down. You'd be like, shit, go left, go right, no, left, right.
So I'm the first Gump feather now, great.
Yeah.
I was
I love his little,
look at there.
his
That,
little, his little trick off. Stupid kid. What?
knock him out.
I love this bit, yeah. No, I don't believe it. It's very fast paced. Actually, I didn't realize how fast paced this film was until now.
Oh yeah, it's flying over this one.
Is that putting the fly in?
This is where it explains like a space-time continuum, like one day affects everything. Like a temporal junction in the system, or it could just be a coincidence. Or not one day. And those time circuits, man, just fix those time circuits once and for all, man. I mean, Jesus Christ.
Dun dun dun.
See, it's a bit of a giveaway because obviously he's got this shirt on which has Wild West. Well, when he mentions the Wild West, doesn't he? Like, he'll have to go see the Wild West, but he's going to destroy the time machine when he gets back. And then obviously the time circuit says 1885. So it's a bit of a watching it these days. Go, it's a bit of a giveaway. What's going to happen?
Yeah, and there we go. Bum bum bum.
I'm not saying that ILM looks amazing on the DeLorean like now. It's not as the special effects look really good on it.
Yeah. So, Nathan, if someone asked you to swap the Mini for a DeLorean tomorrow, would you not do it?
No, because a DeLorean probably didn't fucking work.
Well, no, I mean, it's obviously a hypothetical, you know, it works, it's a good car, everything's in condition.
Mate, I think it's the doors. The doors would just be dangerous for my height, but if it was purple, I would have a purple DeLorean.
So Back to the Future then, is it?
No, I don't want it Back to the Future. I mean, at the end of the day, I don't think a DeLorean looks that good when it doesn't have them massive fucking fans on the back of it.
Yeah, I was gonna say, it would have to be like a little fan project. You'd have to make it look like the Back to the Future DeLorean.
I mean, if I see a DeLorean, just a normal DeLorean trying to like, you know, all those car shows, DeLorean for Back to the Future, but it's just not even done up like a Back to the Future one. It's just a DeLorean. It's like, yeah, that's not Back to the Future DeLorean. That's have all the shits and giggles on, doesn't it? Remember, there's two of you and there's two of me. Yeah, remember? So confusing.
Well, that's it. This is where you start to, like, I mean, you can either sum it up straight away and get through it, or you can count like a list of possibilities. I mean, anyone on YouTube or the internet's gonna go, right, well, this is not the it's all about the timelines and that wouldn't have happened and all that. As long as your film can have a bit of fun like this does. Oh, binocular effect. It's kind of like... It works in this, but like, if you try to take time and alternate realities and all that, you can get fucking messy, man.
Did you know that Thomas L. Wilson did the voice of Biff's mum, also shouting at him, or his gran.
Really?
That's his voice, yeah. Biff! Ready to be back, Biff! Well, there was something clean and nice and tidy about 1950s, wasn't it?
Oh, the Pleasantville look. Aye.
Yeah, I forgot to watch it last night, actually. Just minded us again.
So you see it a lot, and like it's the same, like the kind of look like Edward Scissorhands has got as well. That kind of, you know what I mean? That.
Yeah, well, it's almost like when it's those American houses that were like pretty much next to nothing to build. They almost look like a fake kind of house.
Oh, like the prefab houses, you would call them.
Yeah. Very much what we've got to do these days if you buy a new house.
I mean, we went past a house the other day and I was like, fucking hell, is that a house? And it was so narrow and it was new build. And I was like, you fucking kidding me? Well, it was literally like front door, like a very slimline window, upstairs window, and that was it. I was like, fucking hell, how narrow is them rooms going to be? I was baffled by it, like.
How to get around it, because they always know there's going to be someone who can't afford a certain price house, so...
And I mean, like, the new builds are all, like, narrow, like hollow and stuff like that. I mean, like, I never hear my neighbours in, like, I'm not being funny here, but, like, when I walk to the other side of my house, in the upstairs, because obviously it's a weird house where there's 4 rooms up here, I get no internet signal in the next room away from my router, because it's that far away. But I still can't hear next door, because it's solid brick, do you know what I mean?
Can I just say, kinds of pains thrown on you like that would definitely hurt.
Sex pest.
Okay, guys. Sex pest, Biff.
It's interesting to show you that scene with her in that dress, because apparently later on when we get back to the Under the Sea dance, apparently she's the only one who's wearing the same dress as she was in the first film. Her and everyone else is just kind of like close enough.
Alright.
But again, going back to this, times might be simpler, like, but when you literally go across the street and start lifting a girl's skirt up.
Nah, you couldn't get away with that now. Imagine that, man.
Not really the way to go about it. You'd be locked up by now.
I mean, that's kind of caveman dating, that. You're mine, I like you.
Yeah.
Someday you could be mine.
You know who he's quite like? He's
money.
He's a bit like Clancy Brown, him, isn't he? The Kurgan.
Yeah.
Very similar mannerisms and...
Get the hell out of my car, old man. That's still amazing, that split screen load, isn't it? Come on.
Yeah.
How much, like, retroscoping? How much do you have to measure the camera from where he is?
Well, especially when the camera panned around to him, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Like I said, you can do it now on your bloody mobile phones these days, but 1988, 1989, I mean, completely different. Everyone had to be measured for lighting. That was probably months and months of shooting that. I don't know if Biff's like being sick or he's just checking out the scratch paint on his car.
Well, one thing, at the end of the day, it saves the shot coming in, though, if he's not in shot, you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
But even the reflections in the car and that, it's...
Yeah. You can see like Biff's like further to the left, or I mean to the right, where it depends on what you're watching it. I mean, it's further, and then it goes, then it pans in on old Biff right now. And it's such an amazing shot. I mean, it's such a really good shot. Panning in on him.
I mean, all you would do, to be honest with you, all you would do for that, in my opinion, you would paint the glass panel blue, and then you can completely just replace it.
Yeah.
But apart from that book, but the way through the book was a bit optical, like,
but
still looked alright.
Well, again, that's it to get it across the frames, isn't it?
Yeah, it still looks alright. Kind of going, "Are you daft old man? You just last."
I was gonna say, did you notice how horrible the magazine looked there when he threw it?
Yeah,
Yeah, can't get away with everything, I suppose.
I think this said it's from one frame to another frame, but the timing was perfect, right?
Oh, I mean, like I say, certainly not doing it any harm. Like, it's really good. It's just, that's the credit I give this film when it comes to that.
Oh, yeah,
If they really take the time to get that right, or as much as close as they can get.
Obviously, as well, you haven't got digital editing at that time. It's still film. Do you know what I mean? It's still old school.
And then if you think about it, we are watching it on HD, which was never intended to be on HD in the house, is it?
Nah.
So you've got that. If you're watching a VHS, you'd be like, oh yeah, fine. Or DVD, fine.
You guys ever seen a film called Caddy?
Nah, I know which one you're on about.
A really old film with Dean Martin and Jerry Lee Lewis. They did a lot of... No, they did a lot of this kind of stuff, like even back in that day, you know what I mean? But to get it like in colour and, you know, in time and not cheap effects, so... I mean... Who else tried to do it this time? Van Damme. Double Team hasn't aged well.
Like when Doc goes, what's something inconspicuous and just as like a freaking secret agent? Mind you, those walkie-talkies must be really powerful. Because I've had walkie-talkies in the past as a kid, and you had to be in the same bloody room to use them.
Fucking hell, Paul, I can't hear you on the walkie-talkie from the front of the shop to the fucking stock room. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. The irony is hours at work are like really old, and I swear to God, like there's so much hassle when you're doing like things like first aids and stuff like that. Such a big site, you have to like rely on someone who's like really half a mile away.
And when you be shouting at the front door, let them in, and just like whoever be at the front door, just be staring at somebody like out in the mall, like gone to oblivion, and like might as well just chuck a fucking paper airplane at them. Then like,
especially when all the walkie-talkies had nothing but the wire hanging out, you should cut your wrists open.
I remember answering the walkie-talkie once, and I was like, "Who are you?" And I was like, "Well, are you going to get it?" I was like, "Get what?" Like, get that? And I was like, "Who are you?" And he was just something like, "My name's John." I'm like, "Well, John, welcome to HMV. Like, literally, you're on the wrong frequency, John. Goodbye." You know what I mean? He was just like going on about, "Are you going to get this?" I'm like, "Who are you?" Mental, man.
I love Doc's Bikes mint.
Biff just pulling out on mine.
I
do wonder, like, they've clearly stated that Biff's family didn't have an awful lot of money. Like, got a nice car though.
Well, that was it though. Then, man, you didn't even have to take a fucking driving test. You just got given a car. You can afford one.
Oh, we'll come up to the Who Framed Roger Rabbit tunnel soon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, here it
Now,
is.
the question is though, will it have Felix on the top or not?
No. Do you end up in Toontown? No.
It's the longest tunnel in the world, though, isn't it? Great Scott.
It's Bits class here. Can you pass me that?
Only 3/3 or something like that. Don't you mean a 2 and a 4th? Oh yeah, so something like that. Smart arms.
You could probably criticise that as well. Like, if Doc Brown came in that direction, so within about 2 minutes, he was managed to pull up with the DeLorean and set a stepladder in the middle of the road.
Again, no, he's a really nice, you know, he's on there, he's getting to, and then he just walks in the background, you know what I mean, out of focus. And to me, that's really, really good as well. But this is all brand new footage, what they've had to recreate, you know what I mean, so...
Yeah.
The show is out, right?
It's great like that. Imagine most people haven't even picked up on that. And like most kids watch this, they probably wouldn't have even thought about who it is behind until it actually happened.
My God, you're right. 3/4. You would recognise yourself talking to yourself, wouldn't you, with your voice?
I mean, just there, that's little pasta. It's just really well done.
The other one's like got his face shown, kind of thing. looking at the setup. You know what I mean? You just look at someone you're talking to.
Mm.
Or in the future.
Unless Doc Brown is just completely and utterly mental.
Yeah, well, he is, isn't he? To put him in there.
Well, he gets committed.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Hang on, I recognise him from somewhere.
Back to the dance.
The enchantment under the sea dance. So it just goes back to the first one now, doesn't it, really?
Yeah.
And it's very clever how to play it out. I mean, this, like, again, it's the idea of, like, Biff actually seeing one and, like, bumping into the doors and all that. Is it the same music? It's...
But it's good that it's from from a certain point of view, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, there you go, binocular effect again.
And then again, like Crispin Glover's just been on, so obviously he's going to get paid for that. So obviously they would have used that scene from the first one, wouldn't it? Because he didn't come back for the second one. So we would have got paid for that.
Unless, I don't know, it depends on what's in his contract. And
No.
footage. He only got paid for what he does.
No, I think they just used the footage from the first one for that.
Yeah.
Unused footage. Like Rocky 4.
Yeah.
I used to have an iPad case that actually had a sports almanac cover on. It was awesome.
That binocular effect, man. Fuck off.
Yeah, but it works on this though, doesn't it? Normally take a camera from like 5 miles away.
No. Now that I've pointed that out, it's a constant thing. You see it in loads of movies. Binocular effect.
Yeah, but at least it's saying it's a fucking binocular effect. But then certain films, it's just like footage that I've used and just it doesn't matter.
Huh?
At least the camera moves when he's looking. That's what I'm saying.
Mm.
It's not just one static shot.
See, stuff like that, it's important that they got them free back, do you know what I mean? Because, again, they're redoing this whole scene. But, again, it's like, it's good that they're doing it now, not like Terminator Genesis years later, where they're like, why didn't the guy look like Bill Paxton? You know what I mean? Like, Bill Paxton's the iconic... I'm sure you would have lent his voice for alternative footage and just de-aged him. But
Can I just say, I believe went half through Terminator Genesis and I turned it off.
Oh, it's such a messy franchise.
Terrible. Dark Fate wasn't too bad.
It's too messy.
Well, it's like the whole time travel thing. They get a bit too... They try and get too clever.
Well, Genesis tried to do this. That's what they try to do. Genesis is essentially has it like a secret love letter to Back to the Future, how they wanted to go back and use Arnie in different ways and stuff, and it just didn't work.
Yeah.
You only need one Terminator film and that's it. One Terminator film.
Not really, though, because I think... No, because I think that's, again, going back to, like, what works really well was, like, sequels and stuff like that. That's why it's probably one of the most successful, because Terminator 1 is, by far, a great film, but it's a straight-up horror film, whereas, obviously, the second one says, right, what do we do differently? Let's change the genre, let's make it an action film, and so... It's stuff like that, and it's the same with Aliens. Aliens did the same thing.
Alien, the horror one, and then they went action, didn't it?
Yeah.
That's the thing with films, like, everyone dreams to make a film, but in perfect world, everyone wants to do a trilogy, because the first film should really set the foundation. The second one should be the one where it's balls to the wall, and the third one should be the one that cashes in everything and wraps it all up, and it's a nice trilogy.
Yeah.
That's the way you look at a trilogy.
I'm not quite a George Lucas.
Yeah.
He starts a fall.
But, like, it's kind of like, you know, a lot of things get, like, you know, they get the film on the ground running and they hope for a sequel and they never get it, but they set up for a sequel and you never get it. Like we talked about with Flash Gordon, Carl. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of like...
Well, the one who did it more recently that I was quite, like, kind of miffed by was Alita, Battle Angel. Yeah, it had a lot to do with that film. The ending doesn't work nearly as well because you can tell when they were doing it, they were hyping it up. They were saying, no, we're not going to give you everything because we're going to give you more in the sequel. And it's just like, yeah, we probably won't get a sequel now.
That's Cameron Rodriguez again, isn't it?
Yeah.
It was a good bit. It was like 5 different books in one kind of thing, wasn't it? So
yeah, it's a classic case of like when you try to do the books into films, you either, like say with Jackson, he did it best because even though there's still a ton even from the extended edition that you don't get in Lord of the Rings, but it was like respecting as much as they could from the book and not try and squeeze it in. But then you can compliment him there, but I can just as well shit on him in The Hobbit because, you know, you should try to do The Hobbit that way and fell flat on his face.
I think a trilogy, start, middle and end, and that's it. 3, move on. 3, and move on.
Well, I was going to say, but then you wouldn't get like things like Police Academy 7.
Like yesterday when I did Ski Patrol, I don't know if you guys have ever seen Ski Patrol, but I fucking love it. And I was watching it going, this is clearly, I mean, it says from the creators of Ski Patrol, and there's characters like elements of Ski Patrol, and I was like, this is clearly meant to be one of the Police Academy. Yeah, it's meant to be one of the Police Academies, and they've just went like Police Academy in the snow basically, and they just went, no, we'll go off and do this. You know what I mean?
I remember the visual cover. Time-drawn video cover in the video shop, that's what I remember from it.
It's fucking classic, it's so funny.
Is that on 4K?
No, it's not. I've seen the later DVD.
Is it on DVD?
No, it's not. It's only on VHS.
VHS?
I had to watch it on VHS yesterday, man.
I couldn't watch 280 no anymore. No way.
I quite like that there because I still remember the kid not expecting that at all. Having the old switch the magazine out, yeah.
So obviously in the background, in the like looking at the blinds, obviously that's obviously a stand-in. You can tell from that angle, like. Biff totally reminds me of the Kurgan. Hello, pretty.
So I don't think even that's Leah Thompson either. It's just Biff, really, isn't it?
I don't know. I would argue say that was, but I feel like they're being clever enough to hide if they are.
I think it's just Biff. I really do. I think it's just Wilson.
And that cut there.
But then
cuts there are actually back to the original movie. The bit, especially when he takes the punch.
But she never jumps on his back in the first one. The whole scene played out in the first one and she never jumped on his back.
I know, but when he goes for the punch, it actually cuts the footage from the original, cuts in.
Yeah, I know that, but I'm just saying, like, that's the only thing that would be why I'd question why they did that. Why had to get out of the car and jump on his back when she never did that in the first one?
It was definitely Thomas F. Wilson, and that's it, and even the stunt ones, if you think about it, because the only really seen was his face, and then obviously it's back to the first one and the second one. I think he stole his wallet. Oh, that punch looks so painful when he hits his head off the ground.
Yeah.
I think he stole his wallet. No, that's a big wallet.
He looks like Pee Wee Herman.
I know. I'm not joking, that was nearly going to buy Pee Wee Herman, you know, the big adventure, the Tim Burton one. But you can only get it in that Tim Burton box set.
Yeah, you can, yeah.
Otherwise, you'd have to import from America, but, I mean...
The Tim Burton box set, though, mate, it's been really cheap, that one, though, before.
I've seen around 20 quid on eBay, but it's got, like, Batman Returns, Pee Wee, Sweeney Todd, Charlie Chocolate Factory...
Beetlejuice.
It's got some good stuff in it.
Good box set.
Yeah. But then I don't want to buy a Batman box set again. I've already got the first two in another box. Then that causes some kind of like controversy, doesn't it? Of having Batman Returns twice.
I mean, to be honest with you, with it being Warner Brothers, like, and you have that box set, you don't put the Batmans in. Pretty much.
Nah, not really. I would leave it out.
It's like when you look at the other Tim Burton box set where it's I mean, it's controversial as well because it's A Nightmare Before Christmas, Frankenweenie.
Disney.
What's the other one? Well, Edward takes it up to a 15, but the other one's a cartoon as well. Corpse Bride, isn't it?
No. Corpse Bride's in the other box set. Frankenweenie. Oh, there's Frankenweenie. Edward. Keep talking, guys.
Edward's the one that tips it over to a 15.
Yeah. Nightmare Before Christmas?
Nightmare Before Christmas. No, Nightmare Before Christmas.
No, it's not.
There's 4 films in the box set.
Yeah, I know which one. It's a Disney Beneficia one, and the other one's Warner Brothers one. So they won't have a Corpse Bride.
It's what do you call Alice in Wonderland, isn't it? No.
No. Isn't that Sweeney Todd?
No,
No,
that's
it's
in the Warner Brothers one.
Right, well, the only one I can see if it's Tim Burton collection, it's got Frankenweenie, Edward, Alice in Wonderland, and maybe...
It is Alice in Wonderland, yeah.
That's your Beneficia, and then the other one's your Warner Brothers one.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, the Warner Brothers one's got, sorry, the Warner one's pretty good actually, because it's got the H-film. Everyone's got Beetlejuice in there. Yeah.
But again, with being Warner Bros., just take out fucking like the 2 Batmans. Do you know what I mean? Because you get a bit of beastly book in that as well. You know, if you get the original version of it.
Oh yeah, the hard cover one. Yeah, I'd just say I used to have it. You know what, Mason? When we go back to work, I'm going to start wearing 3D glasses, like 3D.
I've got some Freddy Krueger's dead ones if you want. Got 2 pairs of them.
I've got a pair, yeah, I'll wear them ones, and then I'm going to be cool. I'll be a Mason scan.
When we first ever do a video, like a live one in the editing room, and it's the 3 of us, we'll just have you going, and we'll have sitting with 3Ds and we'll get, how are you doing, Paul? Have you got a bad head yet? You'll be like, fuck off, man. You wanting to wear these?
That's some good rotoscope in that, like, really good. Where they cut them out and put them in the background and that, it's really good. Really good.
I would say that's where this film shines the most. Is definitely how they do all the effects on it.
Maybe that's why it's 40 million for.
Yeah, definitely. You can see where the money's been spent.
Crispy Clubber.
Yeah. But it was the highest grossing one in that year, film wise. So it's such a cartoon thing to do, though, isn't it? When you think of like a live action film, drop sandbags on them.
Yeah. But your kids are gonna love it. Awesome.
Sandbag.
He's already changed time with those sandbags and those guys there. Because obviously when Marty walks in, you'd be wondering how that happened, won't he? He'd be on his mind going, how did those sandbags fall on Biff's gang?
This bit's really good though, where coming up when Biff's at the door though. I like that bit coming up.
Right, mate, talking, yeah. They do a really good job hiding Chris McGlover's face. That's not Tim, that's him, but it's not him.
Yeah.
If you watch.
There's definitely got a canny look-alike, like, because you can like get a glimpse of his face and it looks close.
Yeah, you're right. It's just sort of like really well. I mean, the background, they could just had a wall there, but they've decided, blur it in. But then again, here he walks out. It's quite funny actually.
I love it when it goes, nobody calls me chicken, and just the door just smacks in his face. But yeah, you're right. That was never mentioned in the first one, was it?
Nah.
The chicken thing was never mentioned, I don't think.
Nah, it just seemed to be a whole new thing.
But chicken later on became like synonymous with like 2 cars driving head to head, wasn't it? That bit there, it's fucking class.
Yeah, that's what to get him in the accident. That causes his life to go off the rails from his guitar playing.
What's that bloody magazine again?
Good little field goal kicks to the fucking gut.
With a bit of music in this, anyway. With a bit of music. It's a lot more in your face, isn't it, than the first one?
Well, yeah, I mean, they know what worked in the first one, and they've definitely amplified it, basically.
Yeah, and there's always that thing of like you've got to keep the original score, but then you've got to expand because of the different, you know. I mean, I was saying to Brit the other night when I was watching Twin Peaks, it says, we'll get the soundtrack for this. Every track's just going to be the same track, but all the different variations they use of it. You know, all the different instruments.
Yeah. I remember being tuned to Twin Peaks.
Never seen it.
Oh, yeah. Your binocular effect wasn't too good there, Mason.
Well,
No,
it's there.
mate.
It's there. It's there. It's faded around the edges. It's just not as solid.
The bit where
That's what you see when you look through binoculars.
the bit where DeLorean drops down, you can see like a little wheel underneath it sometimes. If one of the shots, if I remember right, I can't remember which one it is. You see it when it's on wheels, but
I can see it's the wheel. I mean, you
See,
can't
stunt
really,
guy.
but you can see where the wheel is, if it is.
you see a stunt guy hiding his face there, Doc Brown stunt guy hiding his face when Marty comes out of the car to hide his face.
Nah, I didn't catch it. I have too many little wheels.
And now, if you want us to look somewhere and go, like, stunt guy, no, look at the wheels, no, look at the stunt guy, no, look at the wheels, what are we looking at?
Decline, look at the decline button.
I would have been a min cameo there if Roger Rabbit went flying past in the other direction. Because it almost seems like the same. Like, what the fuck was that?
What, 1955?
It's up there, isn't it?
Been 1930s?
Well, you know, I'm just saying,
What?
it's just a movie.
You still be alive.
I mean, I'm not time, you know, an expert in time or anything like that.
Well, Roger Rabbit is technically in this movie. Again, though,
Yeah, he is, yeah.
he's a Disney licensed character, and it's in a Warner Brothers thing.
It's Universal.
Right, whatever.
Get your
He's a one for you guys, by the way. Last night, Brittany watched Independence Day with us. She's never seen it before, and she was like, "Oh, you want to watch this?" Oh, she loved the first one, and she like, "Oh, when we're going to watch the second one?" I says, "Well, I think we should wait to see if Disney actually bother making the third one, because that's now Disney now, isn't it?"
Yeah, Fox.
Yeah.
No, they're not making. The first one is probably one. Like, I love the first one so much. I even took a day off school to buy the videotape in HMV with a ticket off front cover. I love the first one. It's probably one of my favourites. Great
The
film.
second was just a bloody train wreck. It was just...
Yeah.
Second one just borrowed
That's
everything
okay,
from
I mean-
Aliens. I mean, when Will Smith didn't do it, they were kind of stuck.
Yeah. Well, I think obviously they relied on the fact that they hoped that Jeff Goldblum would basically be able to carry it. And it's a shame though, because I think Jeff Goldblum brought his character back. You know, it was kind of a little bit off, but it was like I buy into it. Whereas the issue is, it just didn't have the right story behind it.
No.
Bill Pullman was also in it. It was pretty good having Bill Pullman back. But yeah, the second one's terrible. But this is one long tunnel, like, isn't it?
They really capitalised on using this effect, didn't they, with the hoverboard?
That's it, man.
Did it in the
Nice.
future?
Chicken.
Gotta start. We're gonna be quick just to walk, so to run instead of using a hoverboard.
Probably would have been. But as fast-paced as the film is, though, it feels like them going to the future seemed like so long ago.
Oh, yeah.
Like the way the film paced out.
I mean, when you think about the future too, you go, oh, yeah, it's in the future. And you go, no, predominantly it's not. It's just, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
We think about
Barely a quarter.
2015, 1985 to 1955.
He doesn't use the hoverboard in the third one, does he?
He does, yeah.
Oh, he does.
But he doesn't.
Yeah, he does.
Doc to use.
It's on the train, and this the train scene.
Yeah, he doesn't use it a lot, but Doc uses it, and it's the worst thing in the world. God damn you, Clara. You ruined that film for me.
Things you do for love.
Oh, that didn't look good
And
as he was passing over.
It's always Dick Jones, isn't it? Manure and the company.
I don't know, like to see them move a lot of shit around that area.
If you think about it, it's a very small like cast of characters, isn't it? In these three films.
I probably only count about 10 people.
Yeah. And then there's the home and the future lines, the estate. They've been built.
That's some fucking strong wire, that, like, isn't it?
I don't know, like, we've got some button at work that, if you get that tangled up, like, Jesus Christ.
Oh yeah, here it goes. He's dead.
Isn't it when you get a box of wires and you've got a million things tangled in it and you only want one spark lead, but it takes you 4 hours to untangle everything?
It never makes any sense. See, like, I'll just put that, like, every time I go to get my headphones extension out, right, I'll be like, hang on, I rolled that up nice and neat last time I had it, and how's it all fucking... It's almost like the electrical current when you're not watching coils itself like a snake.
Yeah. I used to have
grandma in your house, man.
I used to have one of those James Bond suitcases, you know, the movie DVD box set. I got from like a display one from work years ago, and I kept all my wires in that, audio, visual, every wire under the sun and that. And honestly, it was like an emergency box. So anytime someone would ring, "Oh, Paul, could you tune this?" and "Oh, Paul, could you come and set this up for us?"
What are you, a fucking cable guy? Cable guy.
I've got laser discs. I've got everything. Yeah, there was everything in it. And then you can order within the day and it's yours.
I don't know how you're supposed to have seen it unless you saw it in an earlier scene, but apparently the date on that newspaper is the day they go back to 2015. Yeah? Hold on, I'm trying to look at it.
When you wanted...
No, apparently one of the newspapers got Christopher Lloyd's birthday on it. Alright.
One of the things we haven't talked about is the fact that obviously you talk about Christopher Lloyd and like you can kind of go, oh yeah, like Suburban Commando didn't really work for him. A film he did as well, it was on trailer for actually Snow Patrol Ski Patrol was Why Me with Christopher Lambert. That was trailered. So he had some really hitty misses, but you forget that he was Uncle Fester.
Yeah.
What's it Dennis we're talking about? My favourite Martian.
That was a massive miss hit. I mean, Jeff Daniels was huge at that time, you know, coming off the back end of Dumb and Dumber and Speed and all that. And, like, that just... Again, Disney at that era, they weren't big for making movies. They sort of really scraped themselves back to making the straight, crappy ones.
Yeah, straight DVD. Straight videos, I should say. I remember watching my favourite Martian at Marshall. Martian is... Alright. I was talking about the future of Marshall Strickland. My favourite Martian was on videotape. I remember watching that. It was like one of those 1970s cartoons. You know, with the fake laughter track. It's to be one of them. That's it. Doc's gone. Finish. That's
Here
it.
comes.
2 films done. Back to the Future 1 and 2. That's all you need. Leave it opening ending for anyone to do what they want. That's it. No third one.
Happily ever after.
That's it. No third one. Done.
Imagine the guy in the car. It was Judge Doom. Like, what the fuck's going on with this?
Yeah. Then again, it said if this guy didn't come up, you would never know what happened to Doc. We'd be stuck.
This guy, he's the guy from Happy Gilmore's key jackass. The guy who puts him off and playing the golf, isn't it? He keeps appearing and put him off when he's playing Happy Gilmore's key jackass. You missed. That's who that is.
But it's like my Herms delivering the parcel here. And my Herms.
There you go, there's a letter in the pouring rain. I should admit.
That's what I'm saying, it would just get ruined, wouldn't it? And let's in this state, it would definitely be it's like 100 years, what, 30 years old, 50 years old,
Yeah.
80 years old,
By 70.
Have you ever typed in time travel on YouTube and loads of people who like get old photos and they get, this guy is on a mobile phone, like this fashion is not in there, and it makes you fucking wonder, like.
This guy has an Apple phone in the boxing, like in the background, in the boxing ring, yeah.
I mean, you just end up something like, again, like if you look back then into say, it'll be easier for like to be a mystery and be stuff like that, or you didn't have the internet for like people who had an interest in certain things and anomalies. But now with the likes of the internet and YouTube and all that, how secrets and how the Area 51 stuff and all that hasn't really come to full fruition. You know what I mean? There's loads of like, it's a baffling world, like, I think.
I think when he goes, Doc's alive, he's alive, but not really, he's dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He's actually dead. That Doc he knew is dead. But he's alive.
But he
not,
doesn't have a
he's
time
dead.
machine here. That's another thing. He's like...
He has. He's got one from 19...
Yeah, he's got the original one, hasn't he?
I know, but when you're at the... but if you don't know that they're going to make a third...
yeah.
It comes back to this, doesn't it?
But then again, he would have to go back to 1985 to Back to the Future 2 to happen, to have Doc to go back to 1885, so then he can leave a time machine in 1955 to go back to 1885.
Yeah, but like when you're in the pictures back in the day seeing this and you're thinking, this film's about to end, and you're like, how's it going to wrap up so quickly? And then it gets left with like, next time on Back to the Future. You're like, what?
Yeah.
No, it says to be concluded, man. You're right, G.
I know, but still, you're not expecting that to come up because it's very unorthodox for a film to do that.
Basically, this is...
Well, yeah, they didn't do it in the first one, so you wouldn't expect it in the second one, especially not twice over.
And you have to wait another year for it to see what happened. I mean, it's like leaving the cliffhanger, really. This is what Star Wars Last Jedi should have done. The bit before Luke Skywalker came back on the planet Crate should just stop there and then. And then the next one would have Luke Skywalker in to fight. That's
Again,
what,
if you do stuff like that, it's a year-long advert. People will see it, then people will see it on like rental, and then you know what I mean. It advertises itself, and the hype's real. I mean, if that's a really good market strategy, James Cameron's taking it to the extreme. But that's a different story with Avatar, like.
Exactly, I don't get bugs with that though, because like I say, he's held up for years. He said it's because he wants the right amount of technology, but it's always the fact that he's bragging about how it's like this is his project, this is the thing that he wants to build, and it's just not that original. But then he's really building up to be something that is probably going to be all right. But even then, are people clamoring for another Avatar? Because apparently we're getting 6 of them or something like that.
And then again, I think about it, another studio's put another studio out, so I mean, it could just have number 2 and 3 and that's it. I mean, our cinema's going to be around in a few years' time.
Oh my god, we're in 1885.
Hope Doc's
We'll
alive.
wait a whole year before we deal with this one, huh?
Sorry, Doc's alive story. I don't know,
I assumed he was.
when you went to the pictures, was this actually on other pictures or not, or was it just on home video?
No, it must have been.
Yeah, I think home video wasn't on cinema, I don't think.
No, it just said to be concluded. This is for the third one. Right, I knew it was some
total marketing, yeah.
I want the original 1988 version of the Back to the Future 2. I don't want this third thing added on. I want I watch it on home video, factoring it in.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's done a good job of setting it up. Like, I remember looking at that thinking, well, I'm hyped for that. Yet the irony is that, well, I don't necessarily say it's as, I mean, it is the worst of the 3, but it's not horrible. I just feel like it's because I watched it so much. It was the one that I on TV so much that I know it to death.
I think for me, the third one, just the story of Doc falling in love. It's just like, really, I want mad Doc.
Yeah, not quite Back to the Future, is it?
Yeah. Well, there we go.
Aye.
That flew by that, like.
I mean, it's almost like we just flew to the future. Then we went back again, but then we went back again. And now
How many, you know what, I watched this film, I enjoyed it that many times. I haven't thought of a rating for it. Damn it.
You've got to be how many hoverboards or how many Jaws 19s.
I can't. My mind's gone. My mind's gone blank. Let someone else jump on this one.
We'll say how many hoverboards.
Yeah, right.
So obviously, going back, because I think like obviously I'm the one standing out here because you guys did you give the first one 5?
I give it a 6. Paul give it a 5.
Right, and I give the first one a 7. This is my 6. I do think it's a great sequel. It does amplify everything that the first one did, but at the same time, there's just too many. It's too much going on that didn't need to go on. Like I say, if you take out all of his girlfriend parts, you could have done something with that. That's like at least about maybe 15 minutes of footage. If you think about like it was almost 5-10 minutes when she was sitting in the closet doing absolutely nothing but watching on. So I feel like it does have its flaws. Although, like I say, it is a great sequel because, like I say, you can't knock the technology. They did a hell of a job with that, and I mean, you could tell they were having so much fun with it because they were doing all sorts going on with it. But I feel like as a film, the first one was better made, so that's why I give it the edge. So this is 5 hoverboards, no 6 hoverboards out of 10.
I'm gonna go. To be honest with you, I'm gonna stick with 6 because like watching it, it's a love letter to the original. And like I always think that it's in the future, and I absolutely love the Jaws stuff and all that. But then you forget that it's not all set in the future. Then it goes backwards, and I think it's great what they've done, especially because the story, the Enchanted Sea dance, and it's great how it's been intertwined, even like the fact that Crispin Glover's missing from the cast. But it's sort of like, as I just said there, while it was ending, and it now leading towards that there is a third one. It doesn't feel to me like a completed film. I know they got there, but then I like it how it twists and turns back in the original, and I think everyone just like is in board and like they've had a good fun. And I think I've got a less like would this one not have been better as the third one, in my opinion? Because like you've got the past.
Wrapped it up.
And then like they would have went. Then you've had time to breathe to come back to like the events of the first one. Do you know what I mean? And wrap it all up. So I think
Absolutely.
I think the third one should have been the second one, but there would have been a risk to do that. But it would have made more sense because then in the future, when they have all the references to the past and all that, there could have been some more cementation to like wrap it up as a more of a solid trilogy. Do you know what I mean? So that's what I would have said. Like so, again.
I've never thought of it that way, mate, and honestly, I'm absolutely on board with that. I've never considered it that way, but yeah, it should be 1, 3, 2, and that would have made it much more.
Because I know Free comes around and wraps up the story and all that, and the flying off fucking, Doc Brown's finally got his family and all that. But like the third one sort of gives them an adventure in the West. Like, you know what I mean? Because then you're following Doc Brown and Marty on their own. But then the events of what happens in the third one could set up the third one where he comes back and goes, we've got to go to the future. And then it could bounce back and just try it up. Because I love it how it brings, like, again, I love the Marty's in 2 different places. But you would have more nostalgia love for it if it was in the third one. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Definitely.
All right, Paul Ray?
Yeah. The third one, second one's the best one. For me, I'll give it a good old 7 hoverboards. I'll give it 7. It's one I can. If I all 3 films, if I had one to keep, it'd be the second one because I can watch it any other time. And for me, it doesn't need concluding because I know the end of it anyway. But it's just a fun film. To be honest, like the second one flew by more than the first one did. I think just because I enjoyed the second one a lot more.
It's a little bit shorter.
That's just it. Like 4 minutes. Jeez, not that long. That's what I've heard anyway. And I really enjoyed it. I said the film was my favourite. The music's great. The effects are great. There's just so much cultural stuff in it, obviously from the future. But no, it's my favourite out of all 3 films, and I'll still defend it to the day I die. Back to future too.
No, you don't have to defend it, mate. I mean, like I say, it's your film to choose.
Until it work.
I mean, you don't have to be right. You just have to be convinced yourself.
I could do what we do. No, I love it.
So, yeah, I could say, I mean, it's a great film. Overall, I mean, like I say, you think of the franchise, it still stands up, you know what I mean? It's a film.
Sorry, Colin. Eleven Plus Weeks back had at least another. He had 3 years before he found out what happened in Return of the Jedi. He had 3 years to what happened to Han Solo. You know what I mean?
Well,
12 months.
I was going to mention that because, again, I don't know, like, it's a weird thing, right? Because it's the culture that we're in now, and for me, it's like, I love that idea because it's going to pay off so much more if the setup is right. So with the Empire Strikes Back, that was done so well that I was really, like, hyped up to see the third one, where it has a modern equivalent. I would say, like, the Desolation, the Desolation of Smaug, where that was just done so poorly in the sense that, like, you built it up all the way and it didn't give it. It said, right, that's it, we're ending. You'll get that in the next film. So by a year's time, I lost all the hype. I didn't really care. You know, it's been a year. I was already out of it. So I feel like with films today, or even TV, I mean, look at we were talking about WandaVision the other day. I think I'd binged the shit out of that film if they brought all the episodes out. But I honestly think I'll appreciate it so much more because it's going to be a weekly episodic thing. I feel like that's what they're going back to. Even Netflix is releasing stuff, weekly episodes now. Where they were one of the big ones.
It's just to keep the content going out because people are binge watching because of lockdown.
I still think Back to the Future 2 shouldn't have a third advert on for the third film. It should just have it just. That's like more of a trailer if you think about it.
Well, you're right.
I think it should just have to be concluded.
Well, it should just have what they do with the Marvel films at the end. There should just be a little joke, like the thing in the West, and that's it, hidden.
Yeah.
Not
this is before Creed seen this.
No. Skeletor had it. Was He-Man after this?
In 1989, so
89, so yeah.
Aye, but He-Man's is right at the end, like no one was fucking.
After them doing it, like, but to be fair, I don't think anyone was really. Again, it was a lot of films were being banked on like that. That's what makes it so unusual. Like, they were so sure that, obviously not from the first one, but from the second one, it was filmed back to back because they knew it was going to be a success.
I mean, by that point, though, in the 80s, Steven Spielberg could not do any fucking wrong. By that point, whatever he wanted to do, it was done. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I'm going to be in a big Steven turn of pipe, but...
Do you get it?
What?
Sorry, I didn't hear that.
I said Steven Spielberg got a job at Greg's because he liked fingering all his pies.
Wow.
Wow. Even I'm going to give you a wow. That's a Mason thing, but I'm gonna go in there, wow.
To be honest with you, Colin, you've been doing alright with these podcasts, not for mention your favourite body part. That
I'll be honest with you, as I've matured, because obviously with Paul's remark there, I can't do it again, but it would have been so easy to go, that's what his daughters does. But I wasn't going to go there because, you know, that's a little bit of a low blow.
I'm talking about Greg's pasties and pies. Steven Spielberg.
Oh, yeah. Oh, shit, I thought you were talking about other pies.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm talking about Greg pies, you know what Mason keeps saying. He's got a finger in a lot of pies, Spielberg in the 80s. Then I said he's got a job at Greg's because he likes fingering the pie.
See, now I'm confused. I don't know if you know that I know what you were saying. I'm just taking the piss.
Honestly,
we need to go back. We need to go back to the past, change it a little bit, and then go back to the future. And this podcast would have an ending.
Yeah, the future's awesome.
Yeah, overall, it's a great film, great franchise, still stands up, and, you know, don't touch it. You know, leave it be. I don't want to see any remakes or sequels or spin-offs or anything like that.
Definitely. Thank you.
Right, well, for now, this has been the podcast for Back to the Future Part 2. We will be back in a few days, for us anyway, or in the past, or well into the future, for Part 3. This is Paul Ray's trilogy, then God knows what we're going to do after that. But for now, thanks for listening.
The animated series, obviously.
Well, for now, thanks for listening. Goodbye for now.